class. So today we're going to learn a little bit about renewable and non-renewable resources as well as humans' impact on the earth and the environment. Before we need to do anything, I want you to pull up this PowerPoint on your Google Classroom. It should be posted for today, so go ahead and pull that up. You can pause this video. I'll give you a few minutes to do that first. Good, now that you all have it all pulled up, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the learning targets. This is going to help you know kind of what we're focusing on. What is our goals for this lesson? Your first target is, I can differentiate between renewable and non-renewable resources. I can identify examples of resources and explain my thinking. I can describe multiple solutions that will reduce human impact on the earth. And I can write a persuasive letter which states my beliefs and support my claims with evidence. What I want you to do now is I want you to get out a blank piece of paper. It can be a scrap piece of paper, it can be some line paper. It doesn't matter what it is, just get out some blank piece of paper and we're going to create a KWL chart. Now, I know you've done one of these before. You did one of these during the Greek mythology unit. So you're going to divide your paper into 3 different columns. The first column is the K column. This is what I already know. Maybe you can write down some definitions. Maybe you already know some facts about renewable and non-renewable resources. What I want you to do is I want you to take a moment and I want you to go ahead and type right here in this box on your Google Slides. Then your next column is the W. The W stands for wonder. It's what I want to know. Are there some things about renewable and non-renewable resources that you're wondering about? Maybe you're wondering, what are renewable and non-renewable resources? How do those resources affect the earth? How do humans affect the earth? Go ahead and write down a few of your things that you're wondering in this text box right here. Make sure to put them in question form. The last column is the L column. Now, the L column stands for learn. This is what I have learned. You will complete this section right here at the very end of the lesson. So don't worry about this column right now. Just kind of slide your paper to the side or move on once you have typed all of this. And we're going to go ahead and continue. If you still need a few minutes, go ahead and pause this video. That's not a problem at all. When you're ready, just unpause and we'll continue on. You're going to need to know a few key terms for this lesson. The first term is natural resources. These are materials or substances that occur in nature and can be used for economic gain. Your next term is renewable resources. Natural resources that cannot be used up or that can be replaced within a human lifespan. The next is non-renewable resources. These are natural resources that cannot be replaced after they are used. Your next one is pollution. These are gases, smoke, and chemicals introduced into the environment in large doses that make it harmful for humans, animals, and plants. And then the last is fossil fuels. These are sources of energy that are made from prehistoric plants and animals. Take a few minutes to watch this What is Combustion video. We're going to learn a little bit about fossil fuels. Once you have finished watching the video, go ahead and unpause this video and we're going to talk a little bit about fossil fuels. Now that you have all watched the video, I'm going to talk a little bit about fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are our main source of energy that we use today. They provide energy through a chemical reaction called combustion. See, that's why I wanted you to watch this video of combustion so you had a better understanding of this chemical reaction that brings us energy. Combustion is the process of burning something. For example, maybe you're burning wood, maybe you're burning gas in a car to help it go. There are different kinds of fossil fuels. There are actually 3 different kinds of fossil fuels. The first is coal. It is a solid black or dark brown rock that is made of carbonized plant matter. It is mainly used for fuel. When heated, it can be used to heat homes and can be converted into electricity with the help of power plants. Now, oftentimes, when you hear the word coal, you might not think of energy. You might think of Christmas and the bad kids getting coal for Christmas. But that's not what I'm talking about here. The next is oil. Oil is a liquid fossil fuel that is used to produce gasoline. Gasoline is used to help power cars, buses, and airplanes. And natural gas is our last kind of fossil fuel. It is a type of flammable gas that can be used as fuel. It can also be used for cooking, heating, and generating electricity. Now, while there are a lot of upsides about fossil fuels, there's also some negatives too. Fossil fuels provide almost 80% of the world's energy. Now, that's a lot, right? But fossil fuels are not in infinite supply. Fossil fuels have a finite supply, which means that there is a limited amount. Fossil fuels take millions and millions of years to be formed. So eventually the demand will be too great and the supply will be severely limited and will eventually run out. Natural resources is what we're going to talk about next. A natural resource is something that is found in nature and can be used by people. Every place on Earth has its own unique group of natural resources. Some countries have lots of oil or diamonds. Others have rich soil and thick forest, but few minerals. Can you think of some natural resources that we have here in Kentucky? Take a few minutes, pause this video, and think a little bit about that. Now that we're back and you've thought a little bit about that, I'm going to tell you a few examples. Some examples are light, air, water, plants, animals, soil, stone, minerals, and fossil fuels. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to answer this open-ended question. What natural resources have you used today? Maybe use water to brush your teeth. Maybe use water to take a shower. Whatever it may be, write your answer in this text box below. Reminder, natural resources are something that is found in nature and can be used by people. If you want to, you can talk to your family members about this too. Maybe your mother, your sister, your father, whoever it may be. Now we're going to talk about renewable resources. They can be easily replenished, cause little to no pollution, can be more expensive to start up, possible geographic limitations that could affect the amount of energy that can be produced. Some examples include oxygen, fresh water, solar energy, and biomass. Non-renewable resources are different than renewable resources. Non-renewable energy comes from sources that could eventually run out. Since fossil fuels are burned, chemicals are released in the air and sometimes in water. As a result, pollution occurs, such as air pollution or water pollution. Some examples of non-renewable resources are oil, natural gas, coal, fossil fuels, and nuclear energy. Pollution. Now, we've heard this word before. What is pollution? Pollution is when something is added to the environment that is harmful and potentially poisonous to living things such as humans, plants, and animals. There are several different types of pollution, such as air, water, noise, soil, land, and thermal pollution. Now, in order to help you get a better understanding of these different types of pollution, watch this short clip that gives you some examples of the different types of pollution that there are. Once you've watched that, you can go ahead and move on. Feel free to pause this video at any time. Now we're going to do a little bit of an activity. What I want you to do is, I want you to pick one of these before the video questions. The questions are, do we use energy? In what ways? What types of energy can you think of? Look around the room. Where is energy being used right now? Where does most energy ultimately come from? And do you think energy is used the same way all over the world? I want you to write down your answer to whatever question you chose up here in this box right now. Go ahead and take a few minutes to do that. Now that you have answered your before the video question, I want you to click this link right here that says click here to watch the video, to watch the Generation Genius video. Go ahead and watch that. After you have watched the video, I want you to pick one of these after the video questions. The questions are, do different types of fuels create different types of energy? Are energy sources unlimited? Why are renewable energy sources important for Earth's future? And what are some impacts of our energy use? I want you to type your answer in this text box below. Once you have done that, I want you to click this box right here to play the quizzes. Now that we have a better understanding of renewable and non-renewable resources, you're going to make a Venn diagram. So go ahead and take out a blank piece of paper, or you can just type on this box right here. There's text boxes included. So go ahead and write down 2 similarities and 2 differences between renewable and non-renewable resources. Now, if you're confused or you don't really know, feel free to pause this video. You can go back and look at any of the videos that you have watched thus far, or you can look back at the slides. But go ahead and write down 2 similarities and 2 differences. Now I want you to answer this question. What is your opinion? So it's going to be an opinion question. In your opinion, are non-renewable and renewable resources better? Use at least 2 supporting details to support your opinion. Now, what I would do is I would go back and look at your Venn diagram. And I would use the supporting details of facts and information that you put in your Venn diagram. And just state your opinion. Are non-renewable resources better or are renewable resources better? Type your answer in this text box below. You're also more than welcome to talk to your family, friends, or anyone else about this question. Now we have a few more key terms. The first key term is solutions. Solutions are a way to solve a problem or deal with a challenging situation. The next is conserve, to avoid wasteful or destructive use, to save. An example of this can be turning off the water while brushing your teeth to conserve water, or turning the lights off when you leave the room. How can we make a difference? There are several things that we can do in our everyday lives to reduce the impacts of natural earth processes on humans. The first way is to reduce, reuse, and recycle. The second is to conserve water. The third is to bike, walk more, or drive less. The fourth is to save electricity. Turn the lights off when you leave a room. The fifth is volunteer for community cleanups. And the last is to educate others. Educate others on ways you can conserve and you can reduce, reuse, and recycle. Now, we've done this whole lesson. So what I want you to do is I want you to go back to that first slide, the KWL slide, and I want you to fill out at least 2 things that you learned throughout this lesson. Once you have done that, we're going to go ahead and move on. Now, for your assessment, this is the closing activity. You will write a letter to your principal describing at least one way that we can reduce our impact on the world at school. Use concepts discussed in our lesson to support your ideas in this letter. Type your letter on the next slide and submit when finished. You'll type your answer right here. Dear Miss Hutchinson, whatever you would like to say, and sincerely, your name. Now, if you're confused or you don't really know how you can help, go ahead and look back through the slides, look back through the videos, and maybe discuss it with your family members or your friends, and think of ways that you can make an impact at school. Now, the next lesson, we'll learn a little bit more about renewable and non-renewable resources and humans' impact on the earth. But that's for next week. Let me know if you have any questions. I will be around during office hours, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.